I'm
Okay.
just asking, how can we create Apex? I mean, with variables and with functions we can
Yes,
be
yes,
having, right? Structure of
yes,
Apex
yes.
code, I'm asking.
So Apex class, and after that variable declaration and initialization.
Okay,
After that functions,
okay,
function, and if we have return values, we can return, or else we can go with void.
okay. So
No
till
return value.
here, you understood, right? So that
Yes.
means now in our coding language, in Salesforce coding language, what is Apex?
Apex. Apex is an programming language, bro.
It's like design of the class.
Okay.
Okay, it's a design of the class.
Blueprint.
So in
Okay.
the class, we can store variable and function. So
Yes.
without variable, we can't store the data, and without function, we can't do anything in the class.
Yes.
To store the values, we need variables. To run the value, we need functions.
Okay.
Okay, so till class level, that will be design. That will be like blueprint.
Yes.
One
Yes.
minute. Okay, hope you remember till this, Rajesh, right? So to calling the function, we'll be having different types of function. Till day for yesterday, we have learned how to call through anonymous window,
Yes. Yes.
right? So
Yes.
what is the difference between anonymous window and direct apex class?
So anonymous window will direct class will write the Apache class, and whenever we'll anonymous window, we can allocate the memory to the class.
No, 1 minute. In anonymous window, we can get the result of the class, or we
Okay.
we can get the result of the code, not class, result of the code. But we cannot store the data into the database.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, bro. Got it.
Got it? Just
Yeah.
recap session. This is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you save the Apex class, so 1 minute. This one we have saved it, right? So just open it. So
So
this
you are
one,
not sharing your screen.
I'm sorry. 1 minute. So here, once again, I'll show it to you here. So if you want to create new class, you can go to new, and we already saved it, right? So just open and just click on it and open. So now class is there. So to call this function, we'll go with anonymous window.
Anonymous window. Yes.
Okay. So now in anonymous window, okay, just recollect the Apex class. We'll be having design. Next one, what we need to go with, we'll go with object name to store the
Okay.
data,
Yes, bro.
right? Then we'll go with function name and function parameters, etc. Till you remember, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay. So this is what we have done.
Yes, bro. Yes.
So there, this is the class, and this is the object creation, and how to call the function. So why object creation we require to store the
To
memory,
memory.
and this is the syntax of function, how to call the function.
Yes.
Okay. So by using this, we already done one scenario.
Yes.
I mean, one live assignment.
Yes.
What is that? 1 minute.
Sum and up multiplication.
Yes, 1 minute. So this one, where sum and where multiplication we have done,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So based on this, we need to have one more assignment. This one, have you done it?
Yes, bro.
Okay, can you please share your screen?
Yes, sure. ಹಾಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿ 40% ವರ್ಕ್ ಐತಿ ಟೂ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಟೂ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ವస్తుంది ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಂ ರೈಟ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹ್ಞೂ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ No, here.
Yeah, okay. So there, what is this private
Private variable declaration, bro.
variable
Private
declaration? No, why do you use that private keyword?
private when we use private keyword, I mean it is
We can call those keywords as access specifiers.
access specifiers, yes.
Okay.
Public
So
private.
access specifiers, it is indicating to the people this will be a private variable or public variable. If it is private, then we can use it is used in anywhere in the class.
Yeah.
Okay. So public integer makes up. Okay. And okay. Written. Okay. Okay. Here I have doubt. Why do you use a public void over there?
Public void, it won't return value.
Are they asking return value?
No, I
Just see
don't know.
the requirement.
Yeah, one. Let go to the anonymous one. I think you find them.
Okay. Now just go to your code.
Okay. Yes.
See, if void is not there, what we need to mention there?
Integer, bro.
Yes, we need to show one data type.
Yes.
Okay, as per your requirement, they are not asking to give any non-return value. They're asking return value only.
Okay.
So if it is data type, should be there. Okay, now go to your requirement. Yes, just read use function names,
Function name
and
make
they gave one
subtraction.
hint.
Yes, sir. For subtraction, remove 5 from 20.
Okay,
Okay.
then answer will 15. Okay, for division, divide 10 by 4, then it will come 2.5. So
Yes,
what
sir.
they're suggesting us to use
Use double.
double. So what is
Yes.
that double?
Double means it will store the decimal value, sir.
Okay, so decimal value it will store. What is that exactly? That is a data type.
Yeah, that.
So use this data type instead of integer.
Yes. Okay. So, so here we need to use double.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So here we no need to use double, bro.
Why do we need to use double over there?
Okay.
See, if you go with 20 minus 5, 15 will come. So
Yes.
answer will not give in decimal value.
Decimal. Yes. Yes.
So, but if you go with 10 by 4, 2.5 will come.
Yes.
So that time decimal value it has to be show, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that is the reason here we are giving.
Okay.
Okay. So now your class is okay,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You are done with class. Now how can we call this function?
So through anonymous window.
Okay, through call the function, first thing we need to have object.
Yes.
Okay, so go to anonymous window and
Bro, is it fine? So the system dot debug.
system. Yeah, this is okay.
Okay. But in void section
Oh, one minute,
only.
one minute. No, that is no. You just followed the previous code. Remove that.
Okay. Okay.
So just update whichever you gave in first function. Same like that you can give.
Yeah.
Return there, return where subtraction you give, right? Here you can give where division. Okay.
But here I have one doubt.
Yeah.
So if if you use this wide make division,
Okay. What will be happen?
so why this
Okay.
written?
Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
When we can use return keyword, see, if where subtraction is not going to give any value, then we can go with void.
Okay.
See, there generally if you give just remember our first code. What we have done, we gave void mobile number.
Yes, bro.
Okay, mobile number as it is, it shows. It won't multiply, it won't subtraction, it won't do any division, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason we gave void. So as is, whichever you are giving the value, same thing, it without doing any changes, it will display to us.
Okay.
So return, when will come return? Whenever something is happening in this function. See,
Hmm.
you are giving subtraction out there. That
Yes.
means you are getting some value.
Yes.
So that time you will give return keyword. So
But
here,
here, yeah.
that's what. Here, if you give void, uh, your value shows as it is. That's it.
Okay.
It won't give any value. That's what you are trying
But
to say.
yeah, this is previously I did. I mean, I have written this code, bro.
Okay,
So here also we are, I mean, doing some condition, right?
correct.
So like this.
Yes, yes.
So even though it is, I mean, we are getting the result, bro.
How? Can you show me?
Yeah. So this is I did, bro. So it is my class name. So this is I assume that object. So I allocated the memory.
Hmm.
After that, for I mean for this subtraction,
Okay, okay.
I
Now,
followed this.
okay. Now I'll tell you.
Okay.
Here, answer will come.
Mhm.
Because you just followed the previous code. Same thing you have done.
Okay.
So okay, in previous code also we have done with void. Why we
Yes.
have done with void there? There we haven't calculated anything.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so that is the reason we have gave void there. But here we gave a hint like that. We need
Mhm.
not to go with void. That's what we gave.
Okay.
You can do it, but here our requirement is different. I'll tell you now. So just delete it,
Okay.
or else wait. Just copy that code, paste it in somewhere in your notepad.
This one, bro.
No, in an anonymous window.
Anonymous window.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Copy it and paste somewhere. Okay, come now.
Okay. I will go with this one.
No, not required. There itself you can save it. Why do we need
No,
another page?
this one is different, bro.
Okay,
Yeah, bro.
okay. Now we can go to anonymous window and show me the result.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, tell me. No, no. You just gave the same code, right?
Yes,
No,
bro.
show me anonymous window again.
Yeah.
Okay, just remove it. Go to class now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now I need in anonymous window. Both the functions should be give system.debug syntax.
Okay.
How can we do it?
So here we need to remove this one.
Okay, remove it.
So for
So
void
my requirement is both the
uh,
functions we need to call in anonymous window.
anonymous window.
Okay, that's what.
So for this also we need to remove this return, bro.
And that's what I'm asking you.
Okay. Uh, void void won't return any no return value. So it will have let me go with
Did you
void.
got any differences, Rajesh? Now you got the answer, I believe.
So void I mean won't return anything.
Yes.
So in void section we don't I mean
Okay,
we are not supposed
okay,
to do this.
do one thing. Now here we have removed system.debug, right?
Yes,
So
bro.
now go to anonymous window and there you can give do object creation and go with system.debug syntax. Just do
Okay.
it, either it will come or not.
Okay. Okay, bro. Okay.
Okay, now check it.
Illegal assignment from void to integer.
Now you got the answer.
Okay. Void to integer.
Yes. See here in the function, you gave void over there. So there
Yes.
is no data type. And
Yes.
here in the in anonymous window, you are giving integer.
Okay. Okay.
Got it? There you gave double,
Yes, bro.
and here you gave integer. Then how it will
Okay.
shows the answer?
Okay.
So try with double now.
Here, bro. Why instead of why?
No, not there. Here.
Um, okay. Okay.
Try with double, and you can see.
Illegal assignment from void to double.
So now tell me why it's coming.
Um, so here in function we are
No, no, no.
not.
Okay, okay. Let me tell you clearly. There you are giving void,
Yes.
right? That means that is not going to give any value. But
Okay.
in anonymous window, you're asking them to give the value.
Yes.
Then how it will come?
Okay.
So that is the reason there we have removed void and we have tried with system.debug.
Okay.
So now here instead of void, if you give public double,
Then it
then
will work.
public double, and after that you need to go with return value. When void is not there, you need to go with the return value.
Okay.
So earlier also you have done the correct. That's correct only. I'm not saying that's wrong.
Okay.
But here we wantedly gave the requirement like this.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, yes, sir.
So now you can try with double, sorry, public double.
సో బేసిక్గా ఐ మీన్
Hmm,
మనము ఏదన్నా ప్రింట్ చేయాలంటే డైరెక్ట్గా ఇది ఇచ్చేసి సిస్టమ్ డాట్ డీబగ్ ఇచ్చేస్తాం కదా బ్రో
correct.
లైక్
So wantedly I asked you to do this one because our next step is we need not to go with anonymous window. So that's the reason I asked you to create this.
ఓకే సో లైక్ దట్ విల్ గో ఫర్ ప్రింట్ రైట్ బ్రో హియర్
I'm not getting you, Rajesh, exactly.
So for system.debug,
Okay.
for okay, in class we need to go in that way, bro.
No, I'm not getting you exactly.
So basically, we'll print the statement based upon these conditions, right, bro?
Yes,
Here.
yes, yes. Normal
So
to
in
print the data, we need to go
mm,
with this syntax,
yeah,
system.debug. Okay.
okay. For in class, we need to go in this method, right, bro? I mean, we need to while writing the functions, if it is non-void, we need to give this return.
Yes, if it is non-void.
For void, we need to give it. So here, public integer.
Wait. Our next step is same thing. See
Okay.
there, in this code itself,
Mhm.
where you are using void, where you are using system.debug.
Yeah. In void, whenever we are using void, there we are using system.debug.
Okay. One minute. Here there is a small logic.
Mhm.
What is this public void make division? Exactly.
Uh,
Total word, total line I'm asking. Line number
total.
14 or line number
Mhm.
14, what is that?
So, so it is an public function.
Yes.
Make division
So
is a
you are
function name.
giving the system.debug within the function, not before the function, right?
Yes, within the
Oh,
function.
yes. So within the function, you are giving that. So
Yes,
that
bro.
means with after function, in the function, it has to be work. That's what you are giving. In
Yes.
case if you give in the class itself, then it
Uh-huh.
has to come private division is there, right?
Private
First
double.
number
Uh-huh.
4 and number 5.
Yes, yes, bro.
There, if you give that one a system directly, you can give system.debug. There is no issues. Like
Okay.
how we were doing initial days. Like we'll declare the variable, then we'll initialize the variables, then we'll go with the answer like that.
Yes, 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 bro.
Okay, this is structure of class. That is normal how we'll get the result.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yes, yes, bro.
Okay. So now you know how to create the class and how to call the function, right?
Yes.
So to call the class, we need to have object and function, right? I
Yes.
mean, how to call the function. So here, can we call the class without object?
Without object. No, bro.
Okay. So where can we have object?
We can have object in anonymous window.
Okay, in anonymous window, we need to have object, right?
Yes, yes.
So what is the disadvantage in anonymous window? We
So
can't
the
store,
result
we can't save
store
the
the
data.
data. Yes.
Yes, we can't save the data. I mean, we can't store the data into Salesforce. Okay, that will be not permanent saving. That is temporary saving in anonymous window, right?
Yes, yes.
So to avoid that one, we'll be having one keyword called as static.
Okay.
Okay, if you use a word called as static, then you need not to create any object to call the functions.
Okay.
Okay, now we can see.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm start.
okay. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about a model of a static keyword in Apex class. This will be within the Apex class. So we are not feeding you directly all the things in Apex class. First, we have done with normal design of the class. Next, we have done with access specifiers. Next, we have done with objects. Now, without doing object, I mean without creation of object, we are going to call the function now.
Okay, bro.
So I'm just sharing the screen. Just think this is a class. Just think this is a class. Okay. So in
Yes.
this, you gave two variables like age Okay. So here we gave two variables in the class. One is age, one is salary. Okay. So same way is what is the age data type?
Integer.
Okay, integer. And salary?
Integer.
Okay. Okay. When we are calling these variables, age will be stored as a 30 and salary will be stored as 10,000 something.
Yes.
Where can we store this data? In variables, right?
Yes.
So normally, if you're not using static data or static
Okay.
keyword, what will be happen? Then this memory, whenever you're calling to some other class, now we are calling from anonymous window, right? So
Yes.
whenever you're calling this variable at this that particular function from another class, like this class to this thing, this is the class A and this is the class B. From this class to this class, whenever you're calling like this, within the class, whichever you are giving the variable as 30 local, that will be saved in local memory. When you are calling from one class to another class, that variable will be destroyed. So that will
Okay.
disappear. So whenever you are calling from one class to another class, those variables will not work
Okay.
because that is within the local memory. So by using static word, static is like global memory. We can call it as global memory.
Okay.
So global memory, like super memory, we'll call it as. We can tell this like global memory.
Yes, bro.
Okay. So global memory, how it will work means, we have discussed last class like how central government employee will be having power and how local, how state employee will be having power. So they
Yes.
can use it their power in some of the states as a central government. So same like that, static memory will be work at anywhere. One class to one class also, you can work on it.
Okay.
And while you are using static, then it will get stored in global memory, right? When data is stored already, why do we need to go with object? Generally, why
Yes.
we are using object to store the memory, right?
Yes, bro.
In development part.
Yes.
So to avoid that one, we'll go with static keyword.
Okay.
Okay. Now, whichever you have done the code, same code we'll do it with static. So
Okay.
this word static we can use it as in our functions itself.
Okay.
Okay. So now we can see our code.
Yes.
So we have done with the class, right? This was our first class. How we have done this, the class design of the class. I mean Apex class, and how we can execute. This is a class name and this is a function name,
Object. Yes.
and class name, function name. We have done it. So object we were creating it, right? Object, how to we can create, how to create the object.
So
Class name.
class name dot object name and equal to new and class name.
Yes, object name we can take. Yes, this is how we can create, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So syntax to execute function name, we can call a function like this. So now we can skip the object where we have used static. See here, public. If you use static, then integer.
Okay.
Duration of the call same public static void here you need not to worry about void or non-void. We are just giving the memory here by using static.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll go with this. Arash, can you please paste your code here?
Yeah, sure, bro. Yes, bro. Hello. Yeah, bro.
So this is your code, right? So in this
Hi,
code,
bro.
where can we use static? Where can we use uh, this public and all?
Static. ఈ పైన మాత్రం లేదా?
So in this code, where can we
Uh-huh.
use a static keyword?
కాదు bro. పైన మాత్రం
Here I
వేసుకునేది
gave
కదా.
the example.
Yes.
So in okay, directly
Variable
okay,
declaration
one minute.
and
Directly I'll go here.
లేదు bro.
Okay.
Right.
So this one I already saved the data, right?
Yes, bro.
This code, tell me where can I use static?
So at the private in variable declaration, private static integer var sum, private static integer var multiplication from three
Private
and four, three and four, three four lines, bro.
three, 4 lines. Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes, bro. Variable declaration.
These all are variables.
Yes.
Okay.
So function
Okay. Let me see.
static.
Okay. Next.
Okay. In public static integer in function here also public static void. Yeah. Yes, bro.
Okay. So now I'm saving this.
Okay.
Okay. So static I have used.
Yes.
So now anonymous window I'm going. So now tell me what I have to do here.
So we no need to uh, declare object.
So
So
here we need not to give object because
yes,
we already gave the static word,
static.
right?
Yes,
So we can go with like class name,
direct.
function name, and parameter.
Okay. Class name calculator apex class dot
Okay, class
function
name.
name
Okay, what is
make
the
sum
function
dot
name? Make
make
sum.
sum.
Okay,
So values.
values 10 and 20 I'm giving.
Okay.
Okay,
System dot tp.
saving this.
System dot we didn't give system dot deb.
Okay,
System.
Got it. So now here in anonymous window, we haven't gave object here.
Yes, bro.
We just gave data type and this one variable.
Yes,
And directly we got the answer.
yes,
Earlier we were creating the object and we were doing it.
yes.
So this is how we can use static.
Okay.
Okay. So in normal class, if we give this is the we are giving just class keyword and this is the class
Yes.
name and private integer. This is access specifier and this is a data type and this is a variable. And we gave public integer make sum integer a integer b and answer a plus b return answer. So here where can we use static in case if you want to use it?
In private static and public static.
Yes, private static, public static. So now we are going to ending point at Apex language, I mean Apex code. So now how we have started with Apex? We have started Apex by using variables and functions. Functions we have tried with different types of functions like integer, double we have used as of now, and variables we have used with access specifiers.
Yes, bro.
Without access specifiers, we cannot call the code,
Yes, bro.
right?
Yes.
So we have done with access specifiers. Whenever, if you want, if somebody asks you why do we need to use access specifiers, then how can you give the answer?
So access specifiers
So
are
without access specifiers, we cannot call functions
okay.
and variable because we have discussed like Bluetooth and data. When we are giving turn on, then only we can use it. Same way, whenever we are displaying class as private or public, then only we can call those functions. If it is private, can we call that function?
No, bro.
Within
It
the
is
within the function we can call it
yes.
within the function.
Okay.
Okay. So now we can even declare class as static, but there is no need of that thing in scenario. That is just for our knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. So without in case if you are not using static, then we need to go with object. So to skipping the object functionality, then we can go with
Static.
static. So what is the function versus method? So generally, in programming language, they may ask you how to use the functions, how to use the method. They may ask you like this.
Okay.
So method is similar to function. That's it. There is no extra curricular activities about the method. But
Okay.
mention is internal to part of a class. That means a function will be internal part of class. Even method also will be the same. So now here we can see. If just read this
Public
public
void make
public
multiply
void make multiply
integer weight integer
this the what we can call inside this bracket function parameters.
parameters.
Okay, function parameters, and we have started the bracket here and we have ended. So that means function will get start from here to here,
Yes, bro.
right? And here we are giving some logic and we are giving system.debug.
Yes.
That is our requirement. Based on the requirement we gave.
Yes.
Okay, so now tell me, is this function or not?
Function only.
Okay, this is the function. So we
Yes.
can understand. So above code is not inside the class,
Yes.
this code,
Yes.
because this is a function.
Yes.
Okay, it's called as function. We can write this as well in many programming language. But coming to this one, now you can understand the difference between this code and this code. Here directly function in function it is there. But here first we have written the class
Yes. Inside the class we have a function.
Inside the class we have the function,
Yes.
right? So
Yes,
above code
sir.
is in class, so it's called as method. Now got it?
Okay.
Difference?
Yes, sir.
So if it is only within the class, within the function, then we can consider this one as a function. Within the class, if the function is there, then we can call it as the method. We'll be
Okay.
having different kinds of methods like test method, etc., etc. That will be our future topics. We can
Okay.
discuss very soon.
Okay, bro.
Okay. And current moral. Apex class is logic of project to save permanently. So in case if you don't want to permanently, we can go with anonymous window directly and we can do this pseudocoding. If you want to save the data, then we can go with Apex class. Okay.
Yes,
So
bro.
calling functions by Apex class name is so running the project. Okay, this just for our information.
Okay.
Okay, and this is our important topics, and this will be interview question as well. What are the famous ways to call Apex or run any code? We can call through anonymous window. We have done with last 1 week, and we can understand how to call the Apex through anonymous window and trigger. These are next topic. Through triggers, we can call the Apex class, and process builder we can call the Apex class. Integration from other platform like PHP or Oracle or Java, etc. we can call. Scheduling the code, JavaScript button. And now it's going to be closed.
Okay.
So we can do it in flows itself.
Okay.
Okay. And from another class, from one class to another class, we can do it. From VFP in the sense
Visual Force.
Visual Force pages. Okay. And Lightning component. In these 9 ways, we can call the Apex.
Okay.
Okay. I'll send this data through mail. You can save it somewhere. This
Okay.
is an interview question as well.
Bro, directly attach this document, bro, instead of pasting in I mean message body, email
Okay.
body.
Okay, I'll send it. Thing is, this one I haven't prepared. So whenever
Okay.
these things I am preparing these things,
Yes, yes.
and remaining this code and all on call we are doing it. Yesterday
Yes,
also
yes,
we had
bro.
done the same, right?
Yes, yes.
So if you
After, I mean, after save this code and
see, see this one,
send.
I haven't done this. Yesterday
Yes, yes,
we were doing it. We have till here only we have done, and
yes,
anonymous window we have done directly in developer console.
yes, yes,
Okay, I'll share the notepad directly. It's no issues.
yes, yes.
Okay, so now we are going to entering into triggers. So our famous combination in Salesforce is class plus triggers.
Okay,
So if you go to any interviews or any technical interviews, etc., etc., they'll give one triggers. How can you call this class? Then we need to go. We need to write the class and triggers as well.
okay,
Once you have done with trigger, once you have written any trigger, then either it is working or not. To know that, we need to write test classes as well. So going forward, we need to have this kind of classes. So triggers are almost same like WFR. WFR in the sense, any
um,
idea, Rajesh?
no, bro. Workflow rules. Okay,
Okay. So
yes,
maximum people in the coding part will go with the class plus trigger. Through the trigger we can call the class. Okay, that is one method. But the first thing is, why do we need to have triggers when we have workflow rules?
okay,
And what is the difference between workflow rule and triggers? Why to use triggers when we have workflow? That's what we have
okay,
we discussed. Okay, so workflow rule, it's like one automation process which is included in Salesforce admin. Okay, So without doing any piece of code, without writing any code, we can send automated mails to the users, and we can do the field updates. We can go with outbound messages, and
Task
we can
creation.
do, yes, task creation, etc., etc. So
Hmm.
etc. means only four actions we can do it in workflow rule.
Yes,
They
yes.
are like field update, task creation, and
Email alert and outbound.
email alert, and outbound message. Only these four actions we can do it. But while coming to trigger, depends on the requirement. Apart from that, you can do it anything.
Okay.
But all these things, when while coming to WFR, will be having only one rule. Either it is created or edited, and we'll be having some evaluation criteria.
Yes, yes,
Whenever
sir.
it is meeting, then only it will works.
Yes.
But coming
Every time
to,
it is edited,
yes, every
subsequent
time
criteria.
edited or every time it's created,
When
like that only we can have. But
subsequent criteria met.
in trigger, every time it's deleted, also we can create.
Okay.
For example, there is an employee in an organization. He resigned the job. Once he resigned the job, we need to send the information to the employee that all your resignation formalities has been done. Like that, if you want to send one mail, so
Okay.
when it has to be done exactly when we are deleting the employee details in our database, then mail has to go to the employee
Okay.
personal mail ID. So that will not be possible in workflow rule. We can do it in
Okay.
only in trigger. So we can do it trigger by inserting the record. We can do it by deleting. We can do it, and deleting also we can do it. We have different things in trigger. We'll discuss in future topics.
Okay.
Coming to WFR, we can make impact on only one object.
Okay.
So whenever if you want to do it any email alert or outbound message, we can do it only in one object. 1 minute. So here only we can do it on only one object. Let me show you how workflow will come. No, I have deleted all workflow rules here.
Okay.
Okay. So workflow rule, I'll show it to you in some other class. We have four actions. It'll take half an hour time. I'll tell you in some other time. Okay. In We can make it only on one object. I'll show you in case if you want to create any new rule here in workflow rule.
We need to select the object.
Yes, we need to select only one object.
Yes, yes, bro. I know the workflow rules.
Okay. So
I have an idea.
whenever it has any relationship, then that will impact on another object as well. But in
Yes, yes.
trigger, we can make the changes in multiple objects by calling DML statements. So
Okay.
that is also a future topic. DML statement, how can we use DML statement, etc., etc. And we cannot fetch the data from database with some query. That means, for example, by use how we can use collections by giving a record ID, we can get the employee name like that. So
Yes,
we
yes.
can't do anything those kind of queries in workflow rule. Query language it won't be support in workflow rule, but in
Okay.
triggers we can do it. So for your information, I'll show that one. Yes, here we can write query. So in case in one object, if you want to get particular names, we can get the we can get the result by using some query language. That be a future topic. We'll be having different kinds of queries. How can we write? We can see it in future.
Okay.
And coming to trigger, we can fetch the data from database. Here we can fetch the data. This is called as query editor. It works only when record is created and edited. Just now we have discussed this. And a trigger will be delete, and delete also it will work. And what case you will use WFR when we have trigger and process builder? Any idea? So when we have trigger process builder, we can't use those things and we'll go with only workflow rule.
Okay.
On which scenario we'll go with the workflow rule?
We are supposing doing any operation in a single object, or
Okay.
we can go with the workflow.
Not getting you. Can you please elaborate?
Yeah. If we have, any account related object or any opportunity object,
Okay.
so there we are having any fields. So if any field is updated or any field is, when any criteria is met, if for suppose
Okay.
rating.
1 minute, 1 minute. I have one doubt. In case if it is a field update action, I can go with process builder also, right?
Yes.
What they're asking is they can't do that action by using process builder and trigger. So which kind
Okay.
of action we can follow in workflow rule? That's what they're asking.
Outbound message, right?
Yes, exactly. Because we have only four actions in workflow rule.
Yes.
Apart from OBM, outbound messages, remaining three can be done in process builder and triggers.
Yes.
Only outbound messages can be done in workflow rule. Apart from
Okay.
these things. So in case trigger or process builder, if you want to do that, we need to write the code. So outbound message will be we can prefer in workflow rule. So now this is our information. In case something is happened in browser level, that means client side issues without using Apex Clash, there is a issue. That's what we can understand. In real time scenarios, something is happened from client side. We are not going to do anything. That means we haven't touched Apex Clash in that issue. In case server side, if we are facing any issue, then we need to check with Apex Clash.
Okay.
Okay, this for our information. Not that much of important, but we need to remember this. Okay.
Browser side means,
Browser side in the sense sometimes we'll be having some client applications.
yes.
Okay, in client applications we can't do any coding part. For example, sometime we want to do any integration part. Just assume that if we want to do any integration with the client application, it is not running successfully. Then that will be with the client side because they are not working on Apex classes.
Okay.
Apex classes they are doing only in Salesforce. That is our internal programming.
Okay.
Okay. So if it
Yes.
is server side in the sense we need to check our Apex class where we went wrong, etc. etc. Okay.
Yes.
And now we are entering into triggers. Okay. As per your information or as per your knowledge, what is mean by trigger?
Trigger is,
Any
similar
idea
to,
how triggers will work?
no, bro.
Okay. So just now we have discussed here. To do this kind of actions, we'll go with trigger, right?
Yes.
Here we have discussed one
We can do,
and here
on multiple objects.
yes, here we have done it. By using piece of code, we can do the triggers. So without doing code, we can't do anything in trigger. Trigger in the sense it will be related to a development part. This is a straight answer. And now we can see how trigger will work. It is actually a powerful functionality in Salesforce. It will help you to call specific piece of code when something happened in Salesforce. Something happened in the sense in workflow rule we have a criteria, right? Like created and edited,
Yes, yes, yes.
and evolution criteria is met. We have some conditions. So same conditions here we can give our own conditions.
Okay.
So like whenever a record is inserted, whenever record is upserted, whenever record is deleted, we have discussed just now, right? When employees resign the job, and once we have deleted his details in our database, he has to get the mail from our side.
Yes, yes.
So in this case, we need to have some coding. We need to have some code. So then only trigger will work. So how trigger will work and all, we can see it in one diagram. It will take at least half an hour time.
Okay.
So we'll do it that by using one real-time scenario. So here I have one object called as pulsar bike. Okay, where it is? Yes, here it is. So here I have fields customer name, bike model, price, and delivery location.
Yes.
Okay, and now our requirement is still we haven't started this one. I am just preparing this only for our scenario. Okay, as an anniversary offer for Pulsar bike, they want to give 20 USD flat discount. 20 USD in the sense,
14,000 or 16,000.
no, bro, only
No, no.
1600.
Yeah, yeah, 1600.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
okay, only 1600. Okay,
Yeah.
so whenever they're purchasing 1 lakh bike,
Mhm.
so above, if it is above 1 lakh, then they'll be getting 1600 discount straight away.
Yes.
So here, if I mention 1 lakh, then price should come as
Discount price.
98,400,
Yes,
like
yes.
that it has to come.
Yeah.
So plus also send SMS to the customer about this 20 USD 20 USD discount they got for this offer. Just now we have done this in some other example, like employee who got deleted the details and they'll be getting mail, right?
Yes.
So SMS things we need to, or we are not doing it in Salesforce. For that we need to have one app. We'll be having app launcher, right, in Salesforce.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is a different process. I'm just discussing about this.
Okay.
So here, customer name. Okay, 1,20,000. Delivery location Hyderabad. So now I'm saving this. Once I save this, I'm getting this, right?
Yes.
But what is my uh, concern is whenever I am updating this, automatically it has to come
Discount price.
with the discount price.
Yes.
So before that, we can see how trigger will work. Okay.
Okay.
So now, oh shit, where is the diagram?